What's good, guys? So in this video, we're going to be going over ChatGPT and how you can use it as a learning resource. And I think it's a perfect learning resource as far as like how I learn things. I'll dive pretty deep into ChatGPT and I mean, it's great. I can ask it all these very specific questions. It gives me like the answer immediately. And then I'm also going over um, different kinds of situations I would use these things. I'm going over different kinds of explanations, and I'm diving really deep into uh, whatever it is that I'm learning. And so we're just gonna go over something here. We're gonna go over while loops with ChatGPT, just so I can show you guys how you can use it to learn how to code fairly quickly. So yeah. So can you explain what exactly the purpose of a while loop is in Roblox Studio? Can you explain it as if I was very young or the dumbest person on the planet? Sure, I'd be happy to explain what a while loop is in Roblox Studio. Think of a while loop as a set of instructions that Roblox Studio follows again and again, as long as a certain condition is true. For example, imagine you want to make a character walk across a screen. You could use a while loop to make the character keep moving until it reaches a certain point. You could tell Roblox something like this: move character forward one step, check if the character has reached the end of the screen. If the character hasn't reached the end of the screen, go back to the beginning. The while part of the loop tells Roblox Studio to keep going as long as the condition is true. So in short, a while loop is a repeat set of instructions. Why do while loops crash in Roblox Studio if you don't have a task.wait? While loops can sometimes crash in Roblox Studio if you don't include a task.wait statement because they can use too much of the computer's resources. Here's why: when you run a while loop, Roblox Studio will execute the loop again and again as fast as it can until the condition inside the loop becomes false. This means that if the code inside the loop is too intense or it takes too long to complete, it can start to slow down your computer or cause your game to crash. By adding a task.wait statement inside the loop, you're telling Roblox Studio to pause the execution of the loop for a short period of time. This can give your computer a chance to catch up and prevent the loop. Okay, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it, I'm going to tell it what I think it's saying, and I'm going to ask it for reassurance if I'm right or wrong. So the loop crashes the game without a task.wait because another thread starts and the last one didn't finish. That's one possible reason why a loop without a task.wait statement can cause the crash. Here's why: when you run a loop without a task.wait statement, the loop runs continuously without any pause or delay. This means that the loop may consume a lot of CPU resources, which can cause your game to freeze or crash. When a program runs, it uses one or more threads of execution. Each thread represents a separate sequence of instructions that can execute independently. Okay, so now I'm going to ask it another question for reassurance, just so I know that we're on the same page. So I know we're on the same page, I add a task.wait to let the loop know, to let the loop have a chance to finish the task. Yes, that's correct. Adding a task.wait statement inside your while loop can give the loop a chance to complete its task and prevent it from using too many resources, which can cause your game to crash or slow down. The task.wait statement tells Roblox to pause the current thread of execution for a short period of time, allowing other threads to run. This can help prevent the loop from consuming too much CPU resources and causing your game to crash. When you add a task.wait statement to your loop, you can control how frequently the loop runs by specifying the amount of time to wait before executing the loop again. For example, you might use task.wait 0.1 to wait 0.1 seconds before executing the loop again. This can help prevent the loop from running too frequently and using too many resources. So adding task.wait statement to your while loop is a good practice to follow. All right, cool. So that's, what else could we actually go over for a while loop? I think that's it for this video. I think I got to really show you guys how I would learn anything with ChatGPT and how I think it's great. So what I'm doing here is I'm going over anything I don't understand. I'm asking it. So let's just, for example, actually, let me just go back here. For example, let's say I don't know what a word means. We're just going to use executing. What does executing mean in simple terms? Executing in simple terms means carrying out or performing a specific task or set of instructions. And then we can also do this. Can you explain what executing means in 3 sentences or less? So we don't get this crazy long response. Like maybe we're looking for like the short and sweet version of what it means. We can ask it something like that as well. And it'll give us a great short, sweetened response of what it means instead of like paragraph after paragraph. And so here's what I wanted to talk about real quick is that so I know we're on the same page. I'll ask it for reassurance. And I think this is one of the things that makes ChatGPT so good for learning is like I would use a private tutor. Like let's say I'm using a private tutor and I'm going to have to ask that tutor questions to make sure like I'm on the same page that they're on. And if I'm thinking about it correctly. And so this is one of the things I think makes ChatGPT so powerful is that we can ask it right as it's teaching us things. We can ask it to simplify things more, dumb things down a bit to where we understand it. We can ask it to not use big words. We can ask it, and then we can also ask it for reassurance if we're thinking about it correctly or not. So say we're not thinking about it correctly, it'll tell us that we're not thinking about it correctly, and then it'll explain more and then give us scenarios on that. And so, yeah, I recommend guys that you pick up ChatGPT because it's pretty good for learning. Yeah. See you guys on the next one though. Peace.